Men of Reddit, what is a man's secret that you think every man should know? Part 2. It is totally okay to show emotions and talk about feelings, for any man. I am an Iraq veteran, a welder by profession, gun enthusiast and motorcycle rider, who totally bawled like a little girl during Marley and Me. This in turn made my girl's ovaries swell like water balloons because she saw that I have compassion and empathy for others. I care about more than video games and football, so pretty much show that you're human. Sure, play with chainsaws, drink beer with your bros, shoot stuff with guns, go four-wheeling, buy a huge dog, do manly stuff, but be connected to your fears and emotions. Women will be turned on. Believe it. It's a peculiarity of the Norwegian culture, and of the English and American too, that men are not supposed to cry. Stiff upper lip and all that. But the Vikings cried like women in public or privately. They soaked their beards with tears and were not one bit ashamed about it. Yet they were as quick to draw their swords as they were to shed tears. So what's all this talk about men having to hold in their sorrow and grief and disappointment? Philip Jose Farmer, Red Orc's Rage. My uncle is a boiler maker, welder, and his advice is to never put your finger where you wouldn't put your dick. Very sound. Not sure if I'd be willing to put my dick on the doorknob, in the pantry, on the refrigerator, in the dirt of my garden, and in my friend's hand. When making eye contact with a fellow man on the street, it's a downward nod for someone you don't know, an upward nod for someone you do know. It's a mutual respect thing. Down shows respect, up shows acknowledgement. Learn some basic maintenance skills. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Stay well groomed. It stuns me how many men don't get this. Just because we don't obsess over beauty products doesn't mean we shouldn't shower on a regular basis. Don't worry so much about what others think of as manly. You're a man. Doing laundry isn't going to make your penis shrink. Hair for men, because a scrotum is a pain in the ass to shave. Keep the following with you whenever you leave the house: pocket knife, close to $1 in change, some actual cash, and a condom. I've been waiting for as long as I can remember to see the commercial. A scene, men's locker room. Hey Bob, your dog's getting a little shaggy. Try this. What's that? It's Nair for balls. Nair for balls? Yep, Nair for balls. Voiceover. Nair for balls. Apply directly to your balls. A sane 6 is better than a crazy 9. Stay away from materialistic girls with no concept of money. You don't want to be paying for things years after you had your last intimate moment with her. Don't go to the grocery store hungry. Don't forget to go before going for a run, and always jack off before making an important decision. Well, this used car looks good, and the price is attractive, but where's the bathroom? If you refrain from swearing every other word, then when you do, people will notice. Makes arguments or showing displeasure much easier when people know you are serious. Agreed. My brother swears loudly the moment he gets frustrated, which is often, and people ignore him. I swear loudly very infrequently and people jump. If I ever need to raise my voice, which I do so infrequently, I can't remember the last time, people are terrified. It's like Iron Man says, the best weapon is the one you only have to fire once. No particular order. And number 1, how to use a plunger in the toilet and sink. Pro tip, keep a spare plunger around for sink only. How to change a tire and having the tools in the car to do it. Number 3, basic knots. Not for anything kinky or freaky, but knowing how to securely tie something down when moving, it is incredibly useful. You don't have to get married, even though it seems like that is all everyone is talking about. Conversely, marriage isn't the end of your life. If there is someone you truly love and care for, get to know them completely and intimately. Date for a significant amount of time, then move in together. Share the bills, chores, have lots of sex, do things that married people do. And when you realize that you want to spend the rest of your life with her, it won't be a ball and chain because you'll know that you're compatible and that you want to be with her and that you cannot imagine your life without her. If you ever have to ask the question, should I get married? The answer is no. When it's time, you will know it deep down, through and through. Shaving with a single blade like a DE safety razor gives a much better shave than a 5-blade nuclear-powered vibrating cartridge razor with kung fu grip. Counterintuitive for sure, but it's totally true. Best shaves of my life. For bonus points, stop using aerosol-propelled goo from a can and use real shaving cream or soap. Your face will thank you. Soap. A bar of soap is all I've used for years. I used to shave with a straight razor. Then one fateful morning I bobbled it and dropped it. It wasn't a problem. Catching it was. I'm wicked fast. 14 stitches in my pinky and a nerve reattachment surgery later, I switched to the aptly named safety razor. There's a huge difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is quiet. Arrogance is loud. Yes, I'm generalizing, but it's true in most instances. Just because everyone else is having children doesn't mean you have to as well. Use baby wipes for wiping your ass. No grown man should be walking around with a crusty butt. Open doors and pull out chairs. Chivalry isn't quite dead yet. I'm not rich enough for constant baby wipes, but when I know it's the last wipe, I allow myself the luxury of a baby wipe and feel like a king for at least the next 10 minutes. Never cheap out on shoes or mattresses. Your back is so important. Also, keep your wallet in your front pocket. Sitting down with your wallet in your back pocket will cause your spine to become misaligned and lead to backaches and other problems over time. I put my wallet in my front pocket when I took a long trip to Europe in the 80s. Not only better for the back, but safer from pickpockets, and my wife said it made my ass look better. A real man isn't defined by any form of stereotype, or by what they say, wear, drive, or look like. So basically, a real man doesn't need to be a real man in order to be a real man. For those of you still in your beer ponging days, if you smear a fine layer of butter in the funnel where it connects to the tube, the butter will eliminate 99% of the foam. You won't get any butter flavor unless you overdo it. Good luck! I wish this wouldn't get buried. Butter and alcohol related. Need to win a drinking contest but don't want to get alcohol poisoning? Drink melted butter, about half a stick or a little more, no more than a full stick. It coats your esophagus and stomach lining to prevent so much alcohol from being absorbed. My mom did this in the 70s against a Russian and won a bar bet. Girly drinks are lovely. Not always. For instance, a White Russian is way better than a Mai Tai. Boxer briefs are better than boxers or briefs. I disagree for that small percentage of men who have a large butt and thighs. The boxer briefs ride up my leg to look like briefs after 15 minutes, negating the purpose of the boxer in boxer briefs. Don't go for the good-looking ones. It doesn't mean anything. When she drives you crazy, she will become the ugliest person in the world to you. Go for the ones who make you laugh and live. It doesn't matter if they're a 2, there will be a 10 to you. Actually, this goes for both sexes. I can't do that. I just don't find them attractive. I have no idea how this would work. I say, go or wait for the ones that are good looking and make you laugh and live. Turning off the light switch doesn't turn off the electricity to the light. Light switches complete the AC circuit, but if you provide a ground to either side of the circuit via a ladder, a bare foot or some other means, you will complete the circuit and electricity will run through you. If you need to work on an electrical circuit or device, disable the circuit through the breaker first. Doesn't that only apply if the wiring is done in reverse? If the hot or positive wire is split due to the switch, then you couldn't get shocked. Correct me if I'm wrong. Something people tend to ignore. The best years of your life weren't your college years. They aren't later when you're married. The best years of your life are right now. Don't look to the past or future. Enjoy the present. If you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic and the lane next to you seems to be moving faster, don't change lanes. 9 times out of 10, your old lane will pass you by within a minute. If If you drive the same bumper to bumper every day, spend a week really paying attention to which lanes move better in each area. I used to have an hour drive to and from work, shaved almost 15 minutes off just knowing where and when to be in the correct lane. Even if it didn't seem like it was going to move faster, it almost always followed the same pattern. I learned how to smooth talk and hold solid conversation from reading often. I learned how to treat women properly from my mother. I learned to keep an open mind from good friends. Most importantly, I learned great stamina from years and years of beating off, and that is the key to all things. My own and other documented experience would suggest that beating it frequently decreases stamina. Wearing a suit does not necessarily make you a man. The clothes maketh the man. Naked people have little or no influence upon society. Funny, because it's the naked people who actually make the man. Style outshines swag any day. Stay classy, gentlemen. Swag is for fools with cash. Style is for gentlemen with taste. This will get buried, but is very important. If you're wearing a suit jacket when you're standing up, do not do up the bottom button. It makes the whole jacket look weird. This might sound odd, as a lot of grown men don't know this, but it's true. When sitting down, undo all the buttons. The odd rule for a 3-button suit jacket. Top button, sometimes. Middle button, always. Bottom button, never. If it's a 2-button suit, drop the top button rule. Always compliment her, not the dress. Wow, you make that dress look amazing. If you have to erase a whiteboard, wipe up and down, not side to side. It makes your butt wiggle. Unless that is your goal. Married for 20 years, and the best life trick I can tell you to a successful relationship is this. Always let your other half know when you're angry or hurt, and make sure that they do the same thing, even with little stuff. If you don't eventually, it builds up, and then some stupid little thing turns into a huge fight. It's far better to get it out when it happens and deal with it then, to keep it inside and start screaming at each other because you forgot to put the toilet paper on the roll.